Welcome to WROL Broadcast. I am Hate Mail. With me today we have Loot,
Hey guys.
Kage, Sheriff
Yo.
Lobo,
Hey,
and M4. The usual crew. We got the whole crew here this time. And we are doing a slight modification to the tier list again. We heard the complaints. People like the letter grade. So we're going to kind of take a little bit of a blend of the last two. And our new tier list will include S tier, which is going to move to a more exclusive tier. This is going to be a tier that is unquestionably the best, where it's pretty strong opinions on all of our parts that they deserve. There may be some that we argue over, but characters that really fit, characters that don't really have a niche, like they're not, you know, occasional. You can slot them into every team every time, and so there's gonna be less characters. I know some of you are gonna be upset by that, but we're raising the bar for S tier, and the A tier is gonna be what we had listed before as solid. They're gonna be strong A characters, characters that you want on most of your teams, characters worth gearing out, but they're not to the level of S tier. Our B tier is kind of like what we would have said, kind of like the lower tier of solid, kind of differentiates them. They're not as plug and play as the A tier characters, but still pretty good characters. Our C tier is kind of that blend between the meh characters. I'd say that pretty much meh or situational. That'd be the kind of what the C tier represents. And then we eliminated the D tier, and then our new F tier is what we're going to call T tier, which Loot likes to call the trash tier. And we'll have your favorite sound effect that everybody loves so much. But I promise I'll keep it short, and we won't play it nonstop. One other thing we're going to be adding to this will be a character of the month. This isn't an S tier character. That just means this character either outperformed or overperformed based on their tier ranking. So we'll actually lead the episode off with that. And M4, I'll let you start off since who do you think was the character of the month? And we'll kind of all either nominate a different character if you don't agree, or we'll just kind of all agree.
I don't think I know.
Who would you like to
It's
nominate?
it's Mary Marvel. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that. It's Mary Shazam.
And why would you nominate her as the Toon of the Month?
Why shouldn't say legs because her legs look straight. But from a gameplay standpoint, she's the toon that perfectly synergizes with the hands down best leader last month, which is Lex. So
Yeah.
she benefits from the speed ups. She gives speeds up as well. He does turn meter up. She does turn meter down, and then benefits from the int ups. And I would argue under Lex, she is better than Black Adam. And also, she cannot be one shot by the Deadshot hired gun.
And her AoE debuffs, which I will say I agree with you on that nomination. I felt like she was kind of the under the radar star last month. Kage,
And if you're not ready for the AoE surprise when you knock down her teammates, you're
yeah.
in for a nasty surprise.
Kage, would you agree, or do you have somebody different you'd like to nominate?
I really like Mary. I've always liked her. She's not going to be your pew pew character that everyone's like got a hard on for, but she has good tools. She's basically a blue castaway in that all of her attacks or all your teammates' attacks, like they take a turn, and they're going to lose 10% meter. And you don't think that's a lot, but that can make the difference between, you taking your turn or the opponent taking their turn first. I think a close second place I would nominate would probably be Mirror Master, just because you put him on a speed down team and he can go ham. The only thing I don't like is that his AoE doesn't proc too often, and Mary, you really got to be careful playing around because you kill someone, on accident or whatever, she's gonna go off. So
Sheriff
I have a
Lobo,
good.
would you agree with that, or are you nominate someone else?
I so a couple of things. I did not buy in Siege this month, so I was probably not playing in the same pool as everyone else. I definitely think Mary was really powerful and valuable, but my vote, I think, would go to Chemo instead. Where I was playing, he was, obviously has the taunt, and, he can put the Doom and the Bleed, and I would play with Mary. I don't have her, RB2 or anything, but I couldn't kill the other team fast enough sometimes, especially if it was a Lex lead. They would keep healing, and then, I would get that Doom and my team would die, or I would lose several people to the team. So for me, I would put Chemo slightly ahead of Mary.
And Luke?
Well, you both have really good points. I would say both Chemo and Mary might even deserve to share the spotlight because they both offered such different things. Chemo was a lot harder to fight than it was to use. So I didn't benefit as much from using Chemo, and I really had a difficult time fighting Chemo. So he wasn't great for me personally, but he was terrible to fight. And the way my RNG is, I would get Doom, I wouldn't be able to purge it off, the fight would go too long, and I would die. And I lost a lot of tunes from Chemo's Doom. On an offense perspective, Mary was much more valuable to me than Chemo. She had survivability. My Chemo died right away. Like, I don't know what was wrong with him. I think he was on my team, so automatically he sucks.
Yeah, I did. I benefited much more from immunotherapy than Chemo too, so I think I vote Mary.
The problem with
I'm gonna
Chemo
vote
is
Mary because Chemo just wasn't good for me. My luck is very bad.
I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with Chemo. From I think all of the turn 0 taunters have
It's too
some way.
squishy.
No, yeah. Well, no, he's a tank, but he's not quite as tanky as the other special tanks. His problem is none of the other turn 0 taunters. All of the other turn 0 taunters have some sort of damage mitigation. He doesn't.
He has nothing.
He has nothing but health pool.
Yeah.
He's like a raw
Yes.
nerve.
Yeah, a strong blue would just knock him out of the gates, and there you go. Like my Mary would just punch him and he dies. Well, granted, she's RB3, but yeah, he has nothing for him. He's not protecting himself other than being like a beat shield.
All right, so it
So that's
does
why he
look
does not get
like Mary has won
My
the
vote's
month,
Mary.
and Chemo is a close second. So that's let's move on to the tier list because we have to go through most of the list. We'll do this relatively quickly because we pretty were in agreement on most things it seemed like, but there was a few. And we'll also talk about some of the characters from last month. We'll get a little more in depth in them. So first on the list, we're going alphabetically. Alan Scott made it to A tier. Aqualad looks like a B. Aquaman a B. Aquaman Rider King Tides trash tier. Back to truck up. Ares C. Arcus, looks like we're pretty split on that, but it looks like he managed to get to S tier. So anybody have any strong thoughts on that, or are we pretty okay with that? I mean, the guy carries matches, so
Yeah, I'm on defense, but I can see him as S tier. He's S tier on offense, let's say that. On defense, not so much.
you know what though, but he can be annoying on defense sometimes too. So I'm all in on S tier. He's one of those characters I still feel like I have to address him very quickly.
Yeah.
If I will add that if he has enough shield or enough health to survive your attacks, he's going to gain that Terminator and 1,000,000 strength up, retaliate, and then kill you.
And he does. You can't do it. You can't stun him. This dude.
Yeah, he has debuff and death immunity, so
Yeah,
it's like he can't do anything after he gets that going.
And I mean, I've had him take my RB4 Donna Troy to half-life on a punch. I mean, that's ridiculous.
All right. Yeah. All right. S tier, I
And
guess.
there was a post that you all shared, I think it was on Reddit, where somebody calculated like the most used tune in Arcus by far was on like
Yes.
everybody
He's number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
and more than like Wonder Girl and stuff. So that just, I
I
mean, like
almost never
people are
use
using them
Arcus.
like crazy.
Maybe it's because my Arcus is a peasant and he's only L5.
I mean, mine's only
Only
L5, and I
L5.
mean, every now and again I get annoyed, and then I run a team with Arcus, and he
Mhm.
he carries. Like every time I use him, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's just so absurd. Arsenal is a C. Atrocitus made it to A. Bane made it to B, just barely. Batgirl stays an A. Batman Beyond looks like he just made a B. Batman Cape Crusader lives in trash tier.
Boo!
C. He's not that bad. Batman Dark Knight barely made C. Batman World Greatest Detective made it to a B. Batwoman A. Beast Boy A.
He's beautiful.
Barda looks like she had one. Kage was the only one that had
Wait,
S.
hold up. Hold up. How did Beast Boy make A?
Because he's an A.
He's solid.
Because
He's awesome.
He's got his niche as been like, you know, someone who supports a Lex team or a Terminator team, but I don't see him like plug and play like someone like Power Girl.
I don't know. I find myself using him more and more frequently.
But
I feel like
he
he's got so much in his kit. It's so useful.
okay, he's got buff immunity and Terminator. What else?
That buff immunity can
It's
come in
awesome.
really handy. I was
I have
playing
my
Red Alert the other
reservations.
day. I was playing in Red Alert the other day, and I had an all green team: Lex, Arcus, Flash, and maybe Chemo. And the enemy team was Lex, Kaga, Beast Boy, and Owlman. And that team beat me with my all green. Beast Boy kept putting buff immunity on Arcus, and I couldn't get a turn. It just completely wiped me out.
Right, but he had
The Beast Boy.
a team to complement him, like Castaway and Lex Luthor, right?
True.
That's all I'm saying. He's very good at his niche, right? But to me, that's still a B. Not he's gonna wreck face like Power Girl on any team. So that's all I have to say.
Wait, what did we categorize A as?
Solid.
The
higher end of
tune has
solid.
to wreck, or just can they also be solid utility?
I
yeah,
think
solid
that's
utility would fit too, right?
yeah. They're gonna be the better. They're like the higher echelon solid utility in my mind. Kind of how I look at that.
You can argue he's a low A.
Yeah, you could argue he's a low A, high B. I lean heavily on the A side just because I find him to be. I
Yes,
like
he
him
can be
better than
annoying.
Kaga. The only reason I don't use him, I use Kaga over him sometimes. And Kaga Castaway Green Arrow for those of you that aren't
And
familiar with the
have you
acronyms.
faced what's his name? Mr. Zubas R5
Oh, he's a nightmare.
RB5. He won't die. Like that stupid beast boy won't die. I see him all the time in Red Alerts.
Bardo we had as an A. Bizarro we had as trash. Black Adam looks like he still made it to S. I was kind of surprised when I saw that.
I took him down. I voted him to be an A for the month.
Yeah, I
Just
was.
felt like this particular month he wasn't
Every
shining.
time I want to do that, and then I use him, and it's like he just throws
That's
everyone
so
in.
funny
Like,
because he was the bonus tune yesterday, and I haven't
Yeah.
used him in forever. And I'm like, wow, I should use him more. 'Cause
yes,
he's ridiculous.
it's like easy mode, right? Like,
Yeah, I just can't believe how well he did.
He is that good.
Yeah, and all right, Black Canary made it to a B, barely. Black
I don't
Lightning,
even see her as a B. I think she's terrible.
I think she's a C too, personally. Black Lightning, he's another one I think is a C, but you guys all had B. Black Manta, B. Black Mask, A. Blue Beetle, back the truck up.
I just think it's funny that you guys thought Black Mask was a B, and then
Yeah.
you see that White Lantern team he's on, and he's like, oh my god, he's so good.
No, I bumped him to an A long before
We-
the White Lantern
We
team.
we all voted him down because of the star system, not because of his
Yeah.
bad. Oh, I'll be gone for about a minute or two. Keep going. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Booster Gold. Looks like this guy's moved from S so many times.
And now he's moving down.
Yeah,
S to A.
in the new
And every month it's a 50-50 coin flip. Is he A or is he S?
well, I mean in the new criteria, I couldn't justify an S. He's very good. Brainiac A, Captain Atom C, Captain Boomerang C, Captain Cold.
You know,
Do we want to
Captain-
talk about
go up-
Captain
go back-
Boomerang?
Oh yeah, let's talk about
Boomerang
Captain
for a
Boomerang. We
second.
should. You're right. I'm sorry.
honestly, I almost think he's trash. He's terrible. He does nothing for your team.
I don't think he's that
His
bad. I
damage
actually
is
almost gave him a
terrible.
B, but
He's butt ugly to
What?
look at, too.
His 2 is actually he can one shot a lot of blues with his 2.
yeah. I mean, that's during Siege. That's what I used him for. Sheriff, what are your thoughts on him?
Well, I didn't vote because I'm using him as a slow gear, and I haven't
Oh,
played
okay.
with really. So I was interested to hear what you all would say.
That's why I wasn't sure. I saw you didn't vote. That's why I wanted to go to you. Yeah, he's just kind of he's boring. He doesn't really do much. He's too strong. His steel is nice, but he's kind of a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. And some characters do it better than others. Like I feel like Talia does it well. He does it not well.
I feel like Cat Boomerang. He's niche. He's not very good as a niche, which is, turn me down, speed down. I think once you build around that speed down, okay, so he's not gonna be plug and play, but if you build around him with his speed downs, then he can be pretty scary. I remember in Siege, I was waiting for my Lex to get his turn just so I can zap Cat Boomerang, and I had so many speed downs I couldn't get a turn, and then I just lost to a Cat Boomerang.
Well, I have to say selfishly, I'm very happy that he's not great because of his anti-stun ability. So that makes me happy.
The one thing that disappoints me is he's the first toon with empowered strength ups, and I don't even feel it.
You know what, though? I think you have to look historically at new buffs and debuffs. And historically, the first toon that comes out with that new property is not good.
Let's see. No, that I would argue that is true 50% of the time. Awareness when it came out, who had it?
Well,
hands
yeah,
down
no,
the
that
best
it
toon in the
was
history
strong.
of the game.
It was. Maybe I'm thinking of disease. It was
You were
just
yeah,
Yeah,
you were
I mean,
thinking
it-
of Captain Atom.
Yeah, I mean it's frequent that a new buff they slow play it. So
And then Chemo comes out, and then hey, here's some Doom for you, and I don't even have to do anything.
exactly. Yeah, and it turning out to be a little better than I originally anticipated, but we'll get to him in a minute. Cassandra Cain, I think we all mostly agree on A. Catwoman, B. I voted A just because I love her. Cheetah, C. Chemo, let's talk about him since he was the rework last month. I think he's at first when he first came out, I wasn't real high on him, and then the more I used him, the more I liked him, and now he's an annoying. It's funny because I've been running, and we'll get to him in a little while, Martian Manhunter teams, and I find that I do still want to bust out Hal Jordan to defend against him when I'm using a slow
It's not
team.
a bad idea. One thing I will say about Chemo is that if I don't have a rebirth Chemo, but I do have enough fragments to take him all the way to RB5, and I think he is one toon in the game that would greatly benefit from RB5.
Yeah,
I
I
think he
agree.
would shine. He would be amazing. He'd be so hard to kill, and those special damage attacks would hit so hard.
Yeah, I agree. Kage, you had him as a B.
I think his kit is really good. B is not saying he's crap or anything. I think he's a niche character and that you want him like on a bleed team or a speed down team. or Doom team or debuff team. You know, those kind of teams you want to build around him. But he's not plug and play, you know, the way I see it. The way I define it would be like, I wouldn't use him over Power Girl. I wouldn't use him over, I don't know, Clayface. He has his role, and he's very good at that role, but that's about where I would put him.
Yeah, I like him a lot more than Clayface, actually. Sheriff, what are your thoughts?
Well, I kind of said what I thought about it when I voted for him for Tune of the Month. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty high on Chemo. I like him. But I agree somewhat with what Kage said, that when I put Chemo on my team, I always am thinking about, okay, who else do I need to put on with Chemo instead of just, okay, I'm going to slot Chemo in here.
Yeah, he does need he needs some protection. M4. Any additional
I'm
thoughts?
disappointed. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Just rehash of what I said earlier. Disappointed in his survivability for a tank and no damage mitigation. But when he gets to his turn, once he does that AOE, more often than not, you have this situation under control. So he really shines in a third meter up, third meter down comp. So you don't have to worry about his squishiness, which is weird to say for a tank.
Yeah.
So would you put him as a B or an A?
I would still
M4?
vote for an A. You just
Really?
need that. Yeah, you just need that initial tick, and then he
Like-
gets going.
Like when I use Chemo, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I want to use like Donna Troy and World's Greatest Detective, so I can, you know, keep using that AOE speed down forever, and then they never take a turn, or run with Mirror Master. That's what's going through my head. I don't, you know, if I'm going through it against the Atrocitus team, I'm not going to bring Chemo. You know,
Yeah,
one of
he's
those going to punch me
die
to
for
death.
sure. Maybe that's why he's not an S tier. Otherwise, he would have been S. If he had crit immunity or something, it would have been easily an S tier too.
If he had damage immunity or death immunity 2-0, he would be amazing.
No, you don't want him to have damage immunity, then he wouldn't retaliate. He
Yeah.
needs to take that
I'll
off.
say this: Booster Gold, when you slot him, you don't think about, you know, oh, I need to run the World's Greatest Detective, or oh, I need Red Robin. You just plug him in, he gets his True Sight, or he gives himself True Sight. Boom, there you go. You know.
Moving on. Clayface. We all looks like pretty much mostly B. Connor Kent, B. Cyborg Superman. We were kind of all over the place on this one, but he ended up a B.
Yeah.
Wait.
We can talk about him for a second, because I know Sheriff Lobo still has him as an A, and I used to even vote for him as an S tier too. Because a few things going for him is like, he's one of those green toons that can take a Wonder Girl punch. The only reason I voted him down, he's still very good, is that the one thing that he can do before that no one else can was like boulder to death those red tanks, right?
Mhm.
Now they're dime a dozen, those special damage greens, which is
Yeah.
reduce the stock of Cyborg Superman, but he's still pretty darn good.
I was on the fence about that too, and the only reason that I bumped him up to an A is because of Cassandra Cain. He's useful
Yeah.
doing
I
her
haven't,
now.
I haven't used him in so long that.
But the time he can deal with Cassandra is if she's the last toon standing. I would rather bring Superboy.
That's
The
true.
reason people don't use him much is because you don't need to build a team around him. He kind of just plugs in on by himself. He's such a selfish kid. You don't necessarily build around him unless you maybe Penguin or Alan Scott with him. But other than that, you know, he has what I wish Chemo had, which is that innate crit immunity. And I think that is really annoying to fight.
And there's also two things going against him in the current meta. One, he doesn't buff enough.
And he
Second,
doesn't heal.
Mhm.
correct.
That basic used to buff him
it
for some
still
reason.
has the same property, but you don't get that buff, right?
Mhm.
It's
With
strange.
Brock Legs.
I'm changing my vote. Y'all have convinced me. I'm going down to a B.
He was staying B either way, so we're okay. All right, moving on. We don't want this to get too long. We're still in C. Cyborg we had him as, man, we were all over the place on him, but it looks like we ended as a C. I figure we should talk about him since he was Deadshot Hired Gun. He looks like he might actually end his S tier streak. I personally still think he's S tier because he makes teams still significantly better. And I still see them regularly. But
In May, probably not. Martian Manhunter would be the final name in his coffin.
yeah, probably.
That's if Martian Manhunter comes into the meta. Not a lot of people. You have to remember, not a lot of people actually have him geared or actually use him.
Not yet. Just wait for his week. Where
Let's wait until the end of the month when more people start gearing Martian Manhunter. I do have a feeling Martian Manhunter is going to creep into the meta. If that's the case, then yes, I can see Deadshot, ending his reign, but he's still super lethal. You don't want to Black Adam or Arcus to take their turn under a Deadshot team.
That's exactly why I don't see him as an S tier toon anymore. A lot of the toons don't need him to be deadly. Right? Like
Yeah.
Black Adam doesn't need him. He'll just wreck someone, right? Booster doesn't
But you
need him.
know that if some of these characters take their turn, you're kind of doomed.
If under Lex, Deadshot teams don't even move. Right? If you're using Lex and the other team is with Deadshot, they don't even move.
Let's hear from Loot on this one.
I was more than happy to bump him down to an A. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just saying I think we should keep the S tier a little bit more exclusive, and you got to make cuts. Some toons get cut this month, some get cut next month. I think this is just his month where he goes down to A.
Sheriff Lobo, we'll let you have the final say and then move on.
I was really persuaded by what M4 said, that there's so many just super high damage dealers now that you don't really need Deadshot. Perhaps with Black Adam, if you want a guaranteed, or sometimes with Batwoman, if you want to be super safe and get a guaranteed kill. Yeah, but, especially in contrast with, Lex and healing and speed teams, I see him now as more of an A than an S.
A it is. We got voted down. That's going to cause some controversy, so that'll be good for ratings. Deathstroke, T tier. Dr. Fate, C, barely. Dr. Poison, C, barely. Donna Troy, S tier. M4, always the contrarian on that one.
No, I think he's maybe for May she's still an S, but her stock is going to go down. I bet you.
I will say I am starting to think
I have not
maybe I'm
used her in a
going
while.
to use some other people in her place. Doomsday. This one was a little odd, so I wanted to. Sheriff Lobo, was that intentional? You put him as A tier?
No, that was a complete and total accident.
I thought that might be the case, so that's what I was like. I'm gonna stop and ask.
Yeah, no.
I was like,
I don't know what happened with that.
okay.
I don't know.
I thought that might be the case. Eclipso A, Enchantress C, Etrigan A. I meant to put A. I don't know why I put B. Firestorm C. Flash. Looks like we had a mixed bag, but he ended up A. General Zod. Looks like, I think, me and Loot had C, Kage had A, M4 and Sheriff Lobo had B, so I think that's a B, right?
It's a B.
Giganta, we had C. Grodd. Looks like he made it to the trash tier.
Yes! Yes!
Screw Grodd. Screw him.
Boom!
I cannot gas him up.
He's terrible.
I was really close to trash for Giganta and Grodd, but then I felt like I just can't put them on the same level as like Aquaman, Rider of the King Tide, or Blue Beetle, or Joe Damaged Goods. Like
Well, there's some trashier than others, but Giganta, I every now and again she's okay, especially if there's no Wonder Girl. But yeah, she's close to trash in my mind too.
She's one gear set change away from being great.
Yeah, I agree. Green Arrow Castaway, S tier without question. Even though I can't stand him, I'm sick of seeing him.
Just touching on the big girl real quick. How, you said she's a step away from being good. What? How?
Make her a red tank.
Oh, so just change her gear set?
Yeah, that's what I
change
said.
the gear set.
Because she buffs, but it's not enough. Power go just
Yeah, those
you know,
buffs don't
just
really do
knocks it.
anything for her.
Though I
I can
still
see
don't
that.
see. I don't care how much health she has. Arcus is still gonna murder her.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Yeah,
Bardock cannot
that's what I'm
stand up to
thinking.
Argus. So.
Emerald Archer, Green Arrow, A. Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. This was one I wanted to discuss. I see a couple of you guys brought him down to A tier from S. I still strongly believe he's S, but Loot, your reason for knocking him down? We'll start with you. Especially with Kimmo. Like,
I
his stock
mean-
went back up for me.
All right. So here's the deal. I do think he's an S tier class character. However, I based my S tier this month on I didn't want to have too many leaders in our S tier. I'm trying to make it more exclusive. So to me, that's like on a monthly basis, we reassess. Hal Jordan really was not in the meta this month. So
See,
to
I
me,
disagree because
that
I see him just as much, not as much as the old days, but he's up there. He's probably the
all right,
second
let me
most frequent to
rephrase
Lex.
that. In my tier of Siege this month, he was barely on any team.
Except for Danny.
Except for Danny.
Yeah.
Danny
Danny made
he
top
never
5 with
changed
his
his toon
Hal
set
Jordan.
at all. So, according to Danny Best, I guess he's S tier. Yeah, he is an S tier character. I'm just trying to like make it monthly exclusive, and
You
it's
just
kind of the
open it up,
direction I
bro. I
was
get it.
hoping for.
M4, your thoughts for Belmont?
I have the same logic as Loot. Last month, there's really not a lot of debuff comps that he needs to counter.
The whole month was Chemo, though. That's why I'm confused by
I
that.
never had
He was
to
the
worry about
go-to
it.
tank. I don't understand.
So
All right,
I-
but you
I-
know
I saw
what?
the-
I couldn't use Hal Jordan lead really in the top 10.
you can't use him against Lex. You're not
I
gonna
couldn't
move.
use him. He just wasn't
You-
useful.
I
yeah,
use Lex all the time.
Well, because yours is RB5. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't count. All right, so here's
I think
the
it might-
things. So to answer your chemo problem, the problem with Doom is it only removes 100% of your health. With Lex, you're at 200%. That was never an issue. And then when I was dealing with debuffs, I'm gonna take credit for this, for making Ultraman popular. I just throw back, and it's more fun than using, vanilla Hal Jordan. He's kind of like the most boring lead out there, right? I mean, he's still good. It's just outclassed. by the two
I
other
even
green
still,
leaders.
well, we'll get to Martian Manhunter. I still bust out Hal over Martian Manhunter, especially against Harley teams.
Yeah.
Like, he is the go-to
I will
for Harley.
say,
Yes, against Harley,
I will
who
say as
I
much as
never
I
saw
hate
master.
Hal Jordan, he makes a lot of characters better because he gives that extra starting health, So it makes it harder for your boy Deadshot to one-shot people.
And against evasion teams, he's king.
Yes, that I would agree
Yeah,
with.
I don't.
Which I know in Siege you don't really
Yeah.
see as much, but in Wraith, they're still super prevalent.
And maybe that's why. In Siege,
Evasion, bleed,
does not
you know.
exist.
Sheriff Lobo,
Except for the
I'll
operational.
let you have the final say.
I voted him down to A because of Martian Manhunter.
I
Because
think
he instead of the shield, Martian Manhunter gives your whole team awareness. He still has his stun on 3. Purge can't miss. The attack can miss. So I would still bring Hal over Martian Manhunter with facing Harley teams. But Martian Manhunter does a lot of similar things to how he even does debuff immunity, but obviously not on turn 1. But that speed up, unless it's Harley, I'm going to pick Martian Manhunter now over Hal.
I do a lot, but I still find that I go back to Hal against faster Red Hood, Camo teams, and then of course Evasion. So I find I've been using them about 50-50, leaning a little more towards Martian Manhunter now.
Oh, I know one thing why I don't like Hal anymore. He cannot deal with Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, I mean,
He
well,
protects against the bleed.
yeah.
Initially, but it makes matches a lot long. Cassandra Cain cannot beat you. It's not that.
Martian Manhunter
It
can't deal
just-
with her either, though. That's
It just takes 5 minutes to kill her,
Yeah.
which is so annoying.
yeah. Martian Manhunter. Actually, I think Hal deals with her better than Martian Manhunter. So
A little bit better.
yeah,
yes,
slightly
'cause
better.
He
but
can somewhat remove the invisibility. Somewhat.
That's why I left him as S, just because I find myself using him about half the time now.
All right. So what's your verdict?
Well, I'm gonna go true to the scores, and if you three think he's A, I will try and plead case for him.
It's just for the month. We're gonna talk about it in May.
I don't agree with it, but I'll put it. It's John
Okay.
Stewart, C. Harley Quinn, quite vexing, C. Harley Quinn,
Whoa,
Matt
whoa,
Jester.
whoa, 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 whoa. Harley Quinn is really good on a crit team. I don't know why you guys put her a C.
She can survive. I want to like her, but
Yeah, she's one of those ones I want to like too, and she's extremely niche. She's only on one particular type of team in one particular setup.
She's my favorite toon in the game, and I
Yes.
put her in the trash tier. So let's not talk about I want to like her. I love her. I just think she's terrible.
Harley Quinn, Mad Jester, A. Hawkgirl, A. B. Heatwave, B. I don't have him geared, so I can't really say, but he seems like a B. Hippolyta.
Should we talk about him?
Oh yeah, we should
Sure.
talk about Heatwave. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Sheriff.
Well, I haven't played a whole lot with. I think he's not as good as I was hoping he would be, but he can give your team shields and crit immunity, and that's for me been one of the more valuable things from him. His basic is pretty good too, putting all those bleeds on people.
His
So
purge is really nice.
Yeah, you didn't like him at all, Loot, at first, and you kind of came around on
I
him.
like it. Well, it's because I like his purge. I like the purge that's coupled with the shield and the crit immunity. It's a good move. It's what is it? It's his 2, right?
Yeah, he seems pretty solid. I mean, I wanted to
That-
gear him, but I
that
really need a
2
slow gear.
skill is really, really good.
M4, did you gear him, or is he slow gear for you?
he's a slow gear.
How about you, Kage?
I think he's pretty niche. I don't have anything different to say from Sheriff Lobo and Luke. He's got some cool tricks. I would only use him on a bleed team. He's not my go-to character unless I'm trying to have fun with bleed characters. So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of why I made him slow. I mean, he seems like a solid character. Like, I like him. I like his fire animation, but I don't really play much
Don't
bead
need
lead
him.
teams, and he's a character that I'll gear him up sooner than later, but take my time so I can power gear other characters that are more interesting. Hippo, Trash, Huntress. We were kind of split between B and A. Looks like she ended up A. Jay Garrick made it back to Trash tier after our initial Lex high. Jessica Cruz, unanimous Trash tier. That's a little surprising. John Constantine,
She
A.
needs a rework.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she's gotten pretty bad. Joker Damaged Goods, the ultimate Trash tier. Joker Clown Prince of Crime. Well, we kind of bumped him down to a B. We had him for A for a while. We all kind of consensused on that. Katana, B. Kid Flash, looks like he made it to C. Killer Croc, how this guy made it to a B, I don't know. Killer Frost, I think should be an A. If Hawkgirl can be an A, I like her better than Hawk Girl still. Larfleeze dropped to an A, which I think in our new ranking I could agree with that. I would pick Hal over him. So,
I would too. Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
Wait,
Go ahead, Kaga.
you kill someone on his team, he goes wild, man. I think him and Arcus are toe to toe as really good greens.
He's up there, but I just don't
Who,
find him
Larfleeze?
quite.
Somebody on either team has to die before he can get hypercharged. With Arcus, you can just go nuts turn one.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I voted S, but I kind of actually, when we were voting now, I kind of was like, I agreed with the A. He's really good. He's really up there, but he's just, I mean, I never saw him on my team to deal with a problem even.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And for pre-game PvP, if you're trying to punch above your weight, that's where Hard Gun, Deadshot, Larfleeze are king.
Yeah.
But for end game
Yes.
PvP, they don't fit. Lex Luthor, Salt War
Yeah.
Suit.
I was in the bracket in Siege where I was dealing with Deadshot, Hired Gun, Black Adam, and Larfleeze teams. So
Wow.
those were the teams that I was dealing with.
Yeah, there you go. So Lex Assault Warsuit, he's dropped to a B for us. I mean, he's too slow. And there's plenty of reds that do plenty.
He's
of damage
really
now.
good.
Put him on a Lex team.
Yeah.
But he is too slow.
He's good. I like him, but he's just.
Well, whatever team he's on, it's a Lex team.
Yeah.
Because he's Lex.
Lex Luthor, Survival Support Suit, obvious S, probably the king of S's. Livewire, I voted trash tier at first, and I decided she wasn't quite trash tier. Lobo, he's borderline trash tier.
What did he make trash? Okay.
He made it to C. Manbat, looks like we dropped him to a B. He
Just
was,
dies.
yeah, he's slow, he dies, can't keep disease. Good character, but he's not A tier quality.
He was
anymore.
great when he came out, but
Yeah.
so many special damage.
Mhm.
Yeah, they just massacre him. Martian Manhunter, looks like. Oh, go ahead,
real
Keggy.
quick. I do think Manbat is like super fun to run with Black Mask and Constantine. Stack those diseases.
Yeah.
We need more disease cards, but
We do.
Yeah, he might have a renaissance at some point. I could see that. Martian Manhunter, looks like we all, except for Loot, put him to S tier early on.
I'm not sold yet.
I love him.
Trust me.
I'm just
What
not
the
there.
heck? This
We
man is
haven't-
high.
Dude, how many days has he been available? I haven't even played this week.
Dude, I'm
I've
gonna tell you.
cleared like 40 boards with him already. I love him. Absolutely love him.
He is the love child of Brainiac and Dora Troy. How could you not love him?
Yeah, with a little bit of Hal.
Yes.
I do regret taking his invisibility upgrade though, because he procs Superboy on the other team, and it ruins my day.
I never see Superboy, so. But yeah, he's great. I do. The only thing he's missing is stupid MJ annoys me when I use him. But other than that, fantastic character. I mean, just he does everything.
All right, well, you guys put him in S tier, so
Yeah.
I will let me use him a little bit, and then we'll recircle around.
Yeah, you have all Siege to use them. Mary, we talked for like 10 minutes about her, so we'll just move on. B tier.
And
Medfill almost made it to trash, but didn't quite make it. C.
Did
Mira.
you guys not use him any in Siege?
I did like 3 times, and I regretted it all 3 times.
I used him when I faced
He-
this sub 20k teams.
His leadership is like Lex Light,
Yeah, but that's
is
the
how I
problem.
would say it.
Kind of, yes, in a way, yes.
Mira.
Like Lex Super Light, like Diet Lex. He's
The only
Diet
time I
Lex.
could ever use him when I was facing an all red team, and then even then it got dicey.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Oh, he's
Mira.
not by any means.
Well, your boy Twin C, won Siege with him, so
perfect revenge. Medfill, we're playing him wrong apparently. Mira, B tier.
All right, who's good Metallo?
Metallo, I started. It takes so long to do all your gears. I
I
did my
think loot is done.
I
I'm sure
I am
loot is
done.
done.
I have them, like, I have all the gears ready. I just couldn't push the buttons fast enough before we started
Fast
the
enough.
podcast. Well, I had to do the
It
video
took a
first.
while.
Yeah, it takes forever to
but
do that.
my Metallo is now siege ready. L580.
Mine's L3
Jesus
at the
Christ.
moment. Mine's L3, but
So-
I want to test them before I go. But I may do disgusting whale level on him potentially.
So
Hey,
Hey.
he needs RB5 to be good, man.
He might go RB5 tonight, depending on, well, not tonight, tomorrow, potentially, if I like him enough. Because he is
Alright,
a
hey,
0-turn taunting stunner.
It's
That's
got a
great.
stun, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
Hey, you said it took you forever to bump him up. When people say that, they talk about months, and it took Hate forever. And what does that mean? Oh, I need to tap on those gears. It took me about.
It took
5
me
minutes.
like 10 minutes, dude. It took a long time.
and that's forever. Dude. Come on. Forever is
Well,
like
Hate's,
weeks
you know,
on
Hate's
end
kind of
trying to-
recovering from. Well, Hate's recovering from pushing so many buttons last week for work. You know, he's
Yeah.
working like 26 hours a
I'm
day.
still, now it's not over. It's got like 2 more weeks.
Just sounds ludicrous, you guys. It took forever to tap.
All right, let's get rolling. We still got a lot of characters. Mirrormaster B. I was a little disappointed in him. I almost gave him a C.
Mr. Subas is gonna hate us.
I guess we should talk about him a little bit since what's the character last month. He's good. He can be scary, and pairs great with camo.
He does.
But other than that, I don't see myself ever using him again.
He's too slow.
He's got potential.
He's
Mirrormaster
super
can come out.
fun.
He does, but
He's
he
fun.
can't. You can't abuse his passive because he's too slow. And even then, when you get to his turn, it's not guaranteed. That's kind of his
Mhm.
knock.
Look, I will say this. Lex, Chemo, or, you know, you can do St. Walker, Chemo, Mirror Master. You know, just those two versus an all-blue comp of like Wonder Girl and Black Adam.
Yeah, once
never
you
take
get
a
that setup, yes. Once you
Yes.
get the setup,
He needs a setup.
Yeah, I think
He's good in that setup.
if they get a really good blue speed down character at some point, he may have a renaissance. But they don't like to do that, so we'll see. Mr. Miracle,
Mr. Miracle.
trash, ultra trash. Mr. Freeze barely made it to B.
I'm surprised that he's a B.
I am too. I just don't see it at all. And Rage isn't scary, so.
You're using him
Nightwing.
wrong, buddy.
I guess.
And Nightwing, you guys have
I
him
was
as
so
a C?
close. I was so
What are you
close. to-
smoking?
I was so close.
You can still change it.
Actually, you know what? You can change my vote to T on Nightwing. I think he's terrible.
Oh, there you go. I
There
don't
we
have
go.
to-
There we go. We needed some.
Yes.
He is trash tier. Yes.
He's pretty bad. He's pretty bad.
That's his favorite. That's your favorite tier.
Ocean Master B. Owlman. I don't see how he makes it to an A, but I mean he's all right. But I don't know. I want to like him because he's an owl, but
How is he an A?
I use him a ton in red alerts when I'm facing like Batgirl teams without Harley Quinn. And
No, I hear you, but isn't this for endgame PvP?
well, sure.
The red
But I
alerts pull
feel
from
you
it.
can
a lot of
PvP
people really
too.
like him. I just use him wrong apparently because mine he just
I
dies.
don't know what I'm doing. Man.
I don't know what's
I need a
happening,
lesson.
too.
I need to go to M4 school for idiots.
I don't know about you guys, but my red alerts now becomes the hardest mode. Because I get the out.
Well, it's because
all
it
the time.
pulls from
Mhm.
it only pulls from your alliance,
Yes.
or
and
from
all of those stupid
it's either your
RB5s are in my red
alliance
alert.
or it's a bot.
I'm
Mhm.
still
That's
using.
weird.
So-
My
I just fight the bots because they're easy.
You know what I do? I
my
just
red
find
alerts
that
is all Gear 10 teams. Gear 10.5.
That's
That's
because you're a
weird.
sandbagger, a dirty sandbagger.
But
I still just use Lex, Beast Boy, Mary, Donna Troy every time for every team on auto.
oh, do this.
I use it a lot to practice on those hard teams, like the RB5 teams. So
No,
in a
that's
way,
really
it's
solid,
similar to
good
the.
way to practice. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
true.
Yeah, Red Alerts is absolutely a great way to practice comps.
No, it's not. I'm gonna tell you why. The only time it's great is the first match. You are going to get into a false sense of security that if you don't know your turn meter of your toons very well, you think you're gonna go first because the turn meter carries over. So it'll give you some bad.
Not if
I
you
don't
use
know.
new tunes,
Sheriff
though.
Lobos may be the exception.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely take that into account for sure.
Right, you do. I'm for sure. I mean, just the top siege player for like the past 13 months. So, but otherwise, if you're not careful, you're going to get into bad practices. So be careful when you do that.
Moving on, Parallax, C,
C tier.
Penguin, B, Poison Ivy. How she made it to a B, I don't know. B, Power
I think
Girl.
Ivy could come back with Martian Manhunter.
Maybe. I actually thought about that. Yeah, she might be. She
Because
would be.
because the problem is her speed, right? She
Yeah.
never gets her
She can
turn.
get there.
But Martian Manhunter fixes that.
Yeah.
She is very slow.
Power Girl looks like she fell back to an A. I still think she's an S. So does Sheriff. But I know you guys would want to go A. I'm actually seeing more and more of her lately. Raz Al Ghul, trash all the way. Ravager,
hard.
C. Raven, C. Barely.
Oh, whoa, back up.
She might be.
I need somebody else to stand up and say she's trash. Come on.
Why would you ever
Come
use
on.
Raven? Why would you
I
use
was
Raven?
using her
Tell
in
me,
her
make a
white
case for her.
skin, and she was
Yes.
slightly better than I
See?
thought.
Yeah,
She's
her
very
skin-wise,
attractive
She's
in
an
her
S
white
tier.
skin.
She's S tier when it comes to skins in the game, but she's trash tier when it comes to PvP.
Come on,
I'd
someone
say
else.
she's mildly serviceable.
Kage, let's go trash. Come on, M4, you know you want to.
Oh, I
Trash.
I like her affinity mitigation passive, but it doesn't do much. I like-
5% critical chance. Minus 45%.
All right, screw it. She's a C. Let's move on.
All right, moving on. Red Hood, unanimous S.
Yeah.
Red Robin. This is one I think we're gonna need to talk about a little bit.
I'm loving this. Drops to an A.
I was S for a long time, but I don't know. I think he enables certain characters, but I don't find him S tier quality anymore.
I'm gonna tell you why he's not S tier in my book anymore. He's not fast enough. He's no longer the enabler of
Run him with Martian Manhunter, boy.
to do what?
Him and Martian Manhunter have synergy
Yes.
because he's got invisibility, and it
Yes,
enables
that's
Red
true.
Robin.
He does,
You're-
but
He does.
but
His been. Let me finish.
okay.
Martian's invisibility is not gated. He gets it on his own. A dead shot, on the other hand, he needs to kill someone with his 3, or he's a sitting duck.
But he starts with it. MMH doesn't.
Okay, but
Somebody needs to finish a turn before he goes invisible. So on Red Robin's
Red
first
Robin's
turn,
he's gonna keep that invisibility through the duration of the match instead of the beginning.
yes, right. He just won't have it on his turn yet. Maybe.
I've
70%
been
of the
using
time.
him with Martian Manhunter a lot, and what I will do is, I mean, it's a gamble. It's not 100%, but you put that true sight on Red Robin, take another turn. Martian Manhunter gets that invisibility, and then you have.
Yes, that would work 70% of the time, I think.
Mm-hmm. And
No,
so
they're
he
both
keeps
gated.
invisibility the whole time, and that buff immunity, if you're facing another Martian Manhunter team, is good to keep the awareness off. So I bumped him. I was going to drop him to S. Played with Martian Manhunter that day, so that's actually why I bumped him back up to an S. I think his stock will increase this month.
Probably.
Red Robin, he's got universal utility. You're never, if a new player picked up the game today and decided to whale his way to the top end PvP, he's not going to go wrong going ham. on Red Router.
You know what? You just convinced me. I'm moving him back to S.
All right, then
then
he's S tier.
yep.
So he gets 2.
Nothing
We'll,
I
we'll
can
see at the
say
end of the
would
month. We'll have to reevaluate, but he's mighty close. I mean, I feel Hal Jordan's more S than him. So, but Reverse Flash B, Riddler looks like dropped to a C. Kage's real high on him. The rest of us not so much.
I had him as an A at first.
and I know why. This time of the month.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We need to bust him back out. That's what.
Robin C, Stripe B, Saint Walker A, Scarecrow, how is he a B? Shazam Jr. C, regular Shazam. I mean, a C, really? This guy's pretty
Mhm.
good. He's bad on defense, but
I'm not a fan.
I think he's a B. But I mean, I don't think he's anything crazy. But I like him a lot better than you guys, apparently. It's not because he stuns, because he really never stuns. Silver Banshee B. I mean, she was borderline A in my mind. She's pretty useful. White Letter
Yeah, I think she's really good.
Sinestro.
Getting good.
I'm surprised so many people have him as A. I don't really see him. I mean, he's kind of niche. I mean, he works on certain
I
teams
thought
really well, but
I think he's a
talking about
pretty good leader. I mean, not in our star system, but just in general.
yeah, I guess. Yellow Lantern Sinestro. Looks like he's a C. Siren B. Solomon Grundy C. Trash tier in my mind.
Hey, you
Spectre.
know what? It doesn't matter because we still get outvoted, but he's trashed here.
Yeah. Spectre. Sheriff, you don't have him geared. I don't
No.
either, technically, so we'll put him as a C.
wait, hold up. He's not that bad. I warmed up to him.
I guess
I think
Rex your boy Hal Jordan.
he doesn't do anything to Hal Jordan.
He's
I've never once
oh,
feared him.
because again you're RB5. And also he's the fastest AoE heal immunity guy. So if you need to kill someone permanent, he goes first, and then some damage dealer. He's got his uses.
I'll let
He
you
also
decide,
stuns.
Sheriff, as just an observer, since we're both torn.
I don't know. I mean, I have definitely underestimated him a lot, and I've actually moved him to the top of my gear list for this upcoming siege. So
Is he a
I'll
bonus
let-
tune?
Yes.
He is.
Maybe I'll gear
He
him
is
since
indeed.
I'm slow gearing Heat Wave.
He stuns.
He will go good with Red Hood.
Yeah, but his stun is so terrible. Okay, so we'll give him a B then, to be reevaluated potentially. Star Sapphire B.
I like to
Starfire.
vote her C.
She's
Anyway.
Starfire B. I guess. I mean, she's a one-trick pony. Stargirl C. Steppenwolf. Surprised he still made it to A. I don't see Steppenwolf as anything more than a B anymore. Superboy. I guess you guys say he's an A.
I'm surprised you never use him. He's a good stunner.
He is very good.
I don't know why I just
And
don't
he
like
solves
Superboy.
and he solves a lot of problems.
Well,
Really?
because Hate doesn't like super
And
family
they
characters,
fix
and he's got
his animations
he's a child.
too, so like they're a lot
I
smoother.
don't like weird children.
That's why Hate doesn't have children. Because
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. He just doesn't like kids.
I do agree. I hate Superboy as a character. I hate looking at him. You know, he's ugly child thing.
But he's
Thanks.
good.
His kit is really good. I wish his kit was given to someone else because I hate that character.
Maybe if he was physical, I'd like him. Supergirl, C. Barely a C. I mean, I'm almost trashed here. Superman. Surprised to see a couple A's on his rework. Let's talk about this a little.
You
No, we're
Have
running.
you fought a Rebirth Superman?
I have
God.
not.
Dang.
It's very hard to kill
We'll
now.
I'll say he's hard countered by Pot and Vixen, but he gets annoying to fight because if you're fighting a Rebirth 5 Connor Kent and a Rebirth 5 Superboy and a Rebirth 5 Wonder Girl on the other side, he's going to go crazy.
Are you talking about OC's team?
Yes.
I'll tell you this: if your Lex or Blue dies, you can't kill him. If you don't
Yeah,
have the tools.
he truly becomes unkillable.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yeah,
I have a
the
feeling
big-
this upcoming siege is going to be a lot of 1v1 versus Superman.
Mm.
It's going to be annoying.
Right. So you probably don't want to use him because his teammates will die, but then he can
If
get
you slap
into a
buff
stalemate.
immunity on him,
Yeah,
he's just
like,
going to shake it off, right?
he can. He potentially can. The thing that made him A in my mind is he can proc his own leader, which
See, I
he
didn't.
used
I
to.
tried to use him. Was using him on offense, and I just was not feeling
When he
it.
came out, I used him for like 3 or 4 boards, and I had a decent defense log.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on defense, we'll leave him a B for now, since that's the
Okay.
vote, and we'll
Sure.
reevaluate at the end, since we'll go back to. Hopefully, we won't be changing this. Well, actually, we're not going to change this tier list again. We're going to stick with this one. Our artist will kill us. We're already going to send him like $100 to do this again. So Swamp Thing, surprised to see he dropped to a B. Me and Kage went A. You guys dropped
He's-
him.
It's borderline.
And he's just really easy
M4,
to
why
take
did
care
you-
of now.
Why'd you drop Swamp Thing at M4? Besides power creep.
That's mainly it. He just dies. Because his kit is really good, but his stats is severely outdated.
You know what? The team I've been running lately with a really good defense log is Martian Manhunter, Black Mask, Swamp Thing, and Katana. And
Black Mask can really make your defense log look good.
See, I
Right,
would take
so
Swamp
Black Ma-
Thing over White's Lantern Sinestro any day of the week.
Right, because he doesn't need to be leader to revive your team.
Yeah. So if he's
Swamp
going to be an
Thing,
A,
yeah,
Swamp Thing's the B. I mean,
yeah, Swamp Thing cleanses your team for free. He hits pretty hard. He can one-shot.
He does.
chemo.
He does.
One shot's chemo. I mean, I don't see a reason why why would you think Swamp Thing's worse than White Lantern?
You know what? Change my vote to an A so Mr. Zubas does not hate me.
I was actually thinking about that. I was like, man, I'm afraid of answering. I'm afraid of his response.
Yes, he's gonna say this guy's know nothing.
Zubaz is actually an attorney.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so, me and him, talk a lot. And he's pretty smart.
Oh, Grim should make him his best friend then.
I'm really surprised to see C's for Talia,
Oh yeah.
especially after the
Well,
siege.
it's
I mean,
just because I don't like her.
I would steal
She's-
Chemo's.
How do you not like her delicious pixels?
All right, the pixels are really beautiful, okay? But her kit just never ends up working for me. And then she dies.
Her kid is not
I
bad.
find-
It's just that she's not the first choice for the things that she does. That's her problem.
I find it
Yeah,
used a
she's-
lot, all the time
She's
anymore.
she's kind of a Swiss Army knife, sure. But on a bleed team, she's great.
See, I use her
Yes.
on a non-bleed team regularly, and she's like one of the only non-stun characters I run frequently. That's why I voted her an A. She kills.
Yeah, I took her to L5.
Looks like
got
she's
good
evening
kill.
out to a B.
I'm
This siege was really the only time that I've played with her much, and she did not work for me at all. It was a green heavy siege, so she was always a liability on my team.
Me too.
So I mean, really the only way I'm rating her only on how useful she was in this last siege because that's really the only time I've played with her. She was a slow
her
hero
two-
for a long time.
her 1 and 2 are buff moves, so that made her more survivable on this Lex siege.
Yeah, I used her almost on every team.
Yeah, I steal Chemo's taunt. Chemo bleeds, then she never dies.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. All right, so average out to a B. Terra, C. Two-Face,
She's terrible.
C. Ultraman.
Come on, man, B. Trash.
I wanted the
No.
trash tier.
Come on,
He's
hey,
so
trash. No, he's
He's
not.
the worst character. His buffs. I had a match that I recorded that I was doing for 2D Tron because he thinks he's like S plus, and I'm buried in debuffs and just dying to bleeds.
Oh, I know why. Because you didn't put him in an all villains team. That's on
Yeah,
you.
you want to run him with like White Lantern and like all these other villains.
He
Lex,
needs to run with villains or he doesn't work.
Lex. Black Mask.
I think I did.
Something
I did run a Lex team. I don't know if I used all villains, but I
No,
don't know.
you did not. I saw
Every
your
time-
videos.
Every time I use him, he dies instantaneously. He does nothing. There's no reason for him.
You got to
to
run him with like.
It's not his fault, though.
I think Vixen is going to be a B.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see an A in there. Kage.
She's Jack
He
of all
probably
trades.
likes her outfit.
No, I'm not even into. I don't even have jungle fever, man.
Oh my.
But well, look, she's got a lot of tools in her kit, which I find more and more useful. Like I'll use her over Pot if I'm dealing with like Power Girl or Superboy, Arcus. Those kind of characters. I use her Bear, and then I'll switch to Rhino, or I'll switch to Eagle to keep a character from getting their turn. He's pretty good. She's pretty good on that stuff.
Wally goes back down to an A.
Was he ever
Wait,
S?
he was never
I don't
S.
think so. Yeah, it's just A.
He made.
I'll tell you
He
the
made it to
interesting
S
thing about
last.
Wally.
He's S
I
last
do
time.
believe
No, I
that
don't
whenever
think so.
Lex becomes not in fashion, I think he's going to drop.
Oh, I agree. I think so too. Well, we had
That's kinda
Wally
like
as
He
DOJ.
makes
essential
Lex
in our
shine.
new grading. He was essential, and everybody got all bent out of shape over it.
Yeah, you know what? He's gonna fall out of favor as soon as Lex falls out of favor. It's kind of like DOJ falling out of favor as soon as like Green Arrow came out of fell out of favor.
All right, let's speed this along because we're like well over an hour, and it's almost my bedtime. Wonder Girl S tier, obviously. Wonder Girl Champion of the Amazon C. Wonder Girl Defender of Justice C.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman Princess
No,
of
both those Wonder Women are
All right, this
both
one I
those Wonder
want
Women
to hear you say
trash.
it. Go ahead.
Wonder Woman Princess of Themyscira.
So close.
Close. The
I don't
Mursa.
know.
So
I think,
The
I'll be
Murska.
honest with you guys. I think she's getting really close to the power creep problem. So
She's still.
I really don't know how much longer we can keep her in A, because the reds that we have now,
I think
they're
she's
really
borderline
strong.
S.
I think so too.
So I think she's still got a ways to go before she falls out of
I
A.
have a confession for you guys. Last night, I went to my Wonder Woman pot. I saw I had 2K extra shards, and I pressed the rebirth button.
No way. I have to see
Did you
it.
really?
Look,
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I rebirthed.
All right, go check the roster.
I am doing that right now. Not that I don't trust you. I just want to see it.
Wow.
Oh, because you would do it because
of her
the
low power level, of course.
Yeah, it doesn't affect your sand. Yes.
I knew
Yeah,
that
I
was the
think I
only
can
reason he was willing
rebirth
to
her
do it.
one more time, and I'll be all right.
One day they'll have your Amazon month, Kage. They'll rebirth or rework DOJ, and you'll have to rebirth
Artemis.
her. Artemis will come
Oh,
out
yes.
one day, and that's that.
Oh yeah, that's the end of me.
That's the end of the sandbag.
That's the end of
Because
it.
we're gonna hold you to it like we did Mirror Master. And it's funny because Mirror Master went from like Sandbagger Supreme to
R2.
like Ultra Whale.
Yeah, there's no middle ground with that man.
Have you guys seen him lately?
It's crazy.
That boy
You
dropping
guys see his spending
dropping
power
pennies.
lately?
Oh,
It's like his rich uncle like just gave him a bunch of money.
yeah, he just got some kind of inheritance.
He's
Kinda.
Trustafarian now. That's why he's
What did he
suddenly-
say? He's gonna have everyone level 80 in 50 days.
Dude, that kid cannot
Yeah, he did
spend
say
me.
God, I don't know. I don't know
He's
what it
gonna
is.
run out of kidneys soon. So let's see.
But hey, if the Amazons get a crap rework, or if Artemis comes out and she's trash, then you know,
I think you almost
I'm
have to
bailing.
do it
I'll be
anyway.
fine. I'm bailing. I might just quit the game.
You ain't going nowhere. That'd be like Grim Reaper quitting.
I don't know why he's still playing. He's like, I'm quitting. I'm quitting.
He quits like
And he
every
comes
month.
back next month.
Yeah,
Quits all the time.
he's gonna quit, and then he's gonna say, "Oh, Red Hood, let me take him to our
I can't remember
report."
what it was. It was like 2 or 3 months ago. He said he quit, and like literally, I think it was the same day. It might have been. I think it was right at rollover. He buys like 35 packs of some character. Oh, that was so funny. I wish that we would have screenshotted that one.
Zatanna.
Oh, I think we already said. Oh no, we didn't say. Zatanna C.
Trash, dude.
She's one of those ones. As soon as she gets a good rework, I think she can be fantastic.
She also has her
Her
users.
kit's just so outdated.
Yeah, she just
Dude,
she just
She
needs
has her users.
she just needs some love, and she could be awesome. She needs to be the Starfire or Stargirl of, or just like she pounds intellect downs on people that do intellect up.
She needs to be like the ultimate.
And she
like,
needs to give an overheal.
Yes, like
Yeah.
when she overheals, everyone is like a 200% instant.
Like,
And it needs to be like
she's
a
the
one-turn
original
cooldown.
overhealer.
She needs to do
she's the
300%
original healer.
heal.
Yes.
Just make it like a one-turn cooldown on that heal. You know. There we go.
They should give her a new buff called Super Heal. And it's an overheal plus. So like instead of it being
Imagine.
purple, it's like a new color.
It could be truer heal.
Maybe it's like an orange bar.
All right, this
Yeah,
podcast. really
we're
long.
an hour and 11 minutes. So
Yeah, no one's gonna hear
like the
about
longest
Zatanna.
podcast ever.
These tier lists are a pain.
Well, I think
All right.
the next month it should be 30 minutes ish because we'll
Yes.
go back to normal. We're done.
I think we're
We'll-
happy now. We've got the tier list. It's really not very controversial. So
I think people are gonna lose their minds over Deadshot.
People are
one
gonna
or two
complain
tunes
about
here
the
and
S
there.
tier.
Oh, the
Red
S tier
Robin,
is gonna be with
Hal
Hal and Deadshot
Jordan.
taking a fall. People are gonna lose their minds.
Yeah, I can see that.
I guess at the end of the day, does it really matter? It's just our opinion.
Yeah, still the tier list has become the gospel.
Yes, because
We
it came
are
from the
gospel.
great hate mail, right? Whatever hate mails.
Everything Hate Mail says is true, apparently.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
How can it not be?
Oh,
All right.
Sorry,
I'm in
guys.
now. I'll see you
Good
guys
night.
later.
Later.
Hi, this is Renee Sylvia 88, DC Legends moderator. Do you want to know about new characters while their sales are still happening? Get this perk and many others by becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/WROL broadcast. We tried to find out how DPO 427 was doing in quarantine, but he still isn't back from vacation.